High school. It's a place of learning, a place of growth, a place that made students value grades more than knowledge. Today in high school, most high schoolers believe that grades are more important than knowledge, and they're fixated on the numbers. And to prove this, I did a poll in our high school. And I asked 100 people 3 questions. The first one is very simple. Do you value grades more than knowledge? And surprisingly, 57 people said, yes, I do. I said, let me get deeper into the question and ask them something more specific. If your teacher said you are guaranteed an A+ no matter what you do, you don't even have to show up to class, anything, nothing. I gave them 3 options. Would you not show up to class? Would you show up to class but not try? Or would you still show up to class and give your 100% effort every day and try to learn the topic? Only 27 people said, I would come and try to learn the material. 48 said they wouldn't even show up to class. This shows you how that all they want is the grade. And if they're given the grade, there's no reason for them to come and push hard if they got what they were there for. Third question. Have you taken a class you didn't want to just because it looks good on your college application? 80 people said yes. This shows you how students now believe that they aren't defined as a person, they're defined by the classes they take and the numbers they acquire in those classes, which isn't good. And you might sit there and think, okay, grades are the problem, but they're not. There's no other way that you can assess a student than by using grades. The problem is that students aren't motivated to retain the information they're given. In the future, there are ways to motivate students to want to hold on to the information they're given. And there are 3 ways to do that. And that's with assessments. The first thing is to make a cumulative test. So let's take a subject like math. In math, how it works in high school is you walk into class and you learn about chapter 1. And you learn about chapter 1 and then you take a test on chapter 1. And then you move on to chapter 2. The student isn't motivated to hold on to the ideas from chapter 1 because he knows that his next test is only going to be on chapter 2. And then same with chapter 3. So what a cumulative test would do is that when it's time for chapter 2, the test would consist of questions from chapter 1 and chapter 2. So the student is motivated to still remember those ideas because he knows he's going to be assessed on it again. And then when it comes time for exams, they're much more prepared because they've been doing it all year. Also, the second part is take harder tests. So let's say I'm a teacher and I have 20 students in my class and I give out a really easy test and everybody gets, let's say 15 people get 100% on that test. It doesn't mean that those 15 people are as smart as each other. It just means that I give a really easy test and challenge anyone. And I can't discriminate from who's trying and who's not because a lot of people did the same. So by making a harder test, you add a discrimination factor. The grades will become more scattered and you can tell who actually tried, who actually grasped the ideas between who didn't try and who just learned the basics. And then the third thing to do is to add extra credits. Extra credit is a big thing when motivating a student to hold on to their information. So let's say you're doing a cumulative test, but you're on chapter 30, and you don't want to give a test from chapter 1 through 30. That's an exam at that point. So what you do is you tell them that it's going to be a shorter test, but on extra credit, I'm going to ask you questions from things we learned prior into the year. And that motivates them to hold the information because they know it's going to be beneficial to them, that they can still get points from it, and that I won't need to know it until the exam, that it's of use to me now. So you might ask yourself, who am I to be criticizing the school system? I'm a high schooler, and I see these flaws every day. I see students cram before a test every day and that they don't really care about the information. They just want the grade, and after the grade, they're satisfied. And that's not good because they're not valuing the material anymore and they're just valuing the numbers. And the youth are our future, and if their values are deteriorating, the quality of our future is as well. So in the future, I would like to see a school system that pushes their students to value knowledge over grades. A prosperous future starts with a prosperous school system. Thank you.